Charlena, am I up twice?
Nope.
And somehow I got out of here.
Morning,
Okay.
April. Hi, Carol.
Oh,
Betty, you're here. All
okay.
of you in one, just one.
Okay, good. Thanks.
But two would be better.
No, two wouldn't be better.
I don't know what we do with the other one.
Me either.
Stacy, what were you going to ask about oils?
What with the oils? What else? Just a charcoal pencil, or you have what's supply oil?
I'm suggesting charcoal, but so this is okay. Let's just get right into it, and this is a great time. Like, just we'll start with questions and get ready and clear and recap. Here we go. Good, we're all here. So as those material combos, when I sent the follow-up out, you're welcome to use other media. Good morning, Esther. Welcome. We just started talking about materials. So today I'm going to use oil paint with charcoal, but I also have myself set up so that I can also show acrylic or watercolor. I'll probably stick to charcoal because I know I like it. And so if you're not sure, then you can give graphite a shot if you like graphite, or say soft pastel pencils. Colored pencils are also good with watercolor and acrylic, but there are still some issues with how much you press with, say, graphite or colored pencils. So we'll go and talk about that if anyone's using it, if we run into that. But charcoal is the safest out of all of them. It's very traditional as well. A lot of Renaissance work began with a charcoal pencil and then oil paints right on into it. And so it's quite a timeless, tried and true combination. So that's what I'm using.
So I have a problem with charcoal. I know we all love
Do you now?
I have a problem with charcoal.
Yeah.
Everything gets grayed down.
Yeah.
So as I was working with the wood, and because the wood picks up the pigment, the
pigment.
thing, and my whole being was screaming for something bright, something fresh, something, and it's, you need many layers to get to something that's. So what I'm really doing is fighting against what we have, right? Okay.
So charcoal, it provides that that smokiness that I love. So if it's actually in adversary, like to what you're craving, like if it's the then soft pastel pencil, and you can choose, say something even more neutral, like a mid brown, so that you're not fighting the black. So it's the black that is this like darkness that is not welcome. And so you can kick it out and shine some light with soft pastel pencil, or even a hard pastel stick or something, and there's different grades of charcoal. It is what I like about it. So if anyone's hearing this and you're like, actually, I've had that feeling about charcoal myself, then it is, when you want something light and bright, it is definitely not your choice.
Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It just does. I mean, I like how it feels when the tactileness of it. I love the smudging, but if I start with that, then everything feels dumbed down, grayed down, and I fight that. It's weird. Yeah.
No, it is. Hey, so just 1 second. I love you. You were doing so well. You were doing so well. Can you go lay down? Please get your bone. Get your bone. Where'd you put it? You were doing so well. Oh, here, look at this.
Oh yeah. Yes.
How does this not preoccupy?
Looks like
I mean,
Flintstones.
it is. Do you want it? Yeah. Here, go up on the couch. Go get it. Go get it.
Oh, sure.
Okay. It's not working. So there's a couple of artists that I wasn't sure when to bring it up, but actually maybe now is a good time. So let me share my screen. There's two artists, one who doesn't create anymore with paint and drawing and paint. She is now doing special effects in movies and stuff. And I just, it was so interesting because I've seen her progression. And she was a really talented artist, but as soon as AI came into place, her last post on social media said, "I'm not fighting this. I am not going to put myself in the ring where I am going to be up against digital creations that will win in the market and whatnot as a career." So she's like, "This is it for me." And that's okay. She just chose a different medium. So I'll show you. Her name is Catherine Piro. So just to learn and see her work, especially for those who like portraiture. And then also Audrey Kawasaki, who is an artist who now lives in the UK. So I'll show you their work. Both of them use graphite and washes for the very reason you're mentioning. Okay.
Okay.
And graphite is a beautiful overlooked medium. I brought it into some classes because I don't want to be a hater. But for me, the problems of layering become a little, that's what gets me. So I kind of have already made that decision. Okay, so Catherine Piro, there we go. Okay, so these are all on wood. Oops, 1 second. Pop-ups galore. So you can see there's not a lot of outlining, but there's a lot of line work. She was what I would have considered more of an illustrating kind of style, rather than painterly. But you can see she works with the grain. Her website is the way this is formatted with Flash. I can't really zoom in. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to just say you can look her up if you want to look in closer. But yeah, so I've been seeing, artists for a long, long time. This was back in the burlesque Dr. Sketchy's days. She was one of the hosts. Her and her partner, Brett Despotovich, they did a series of works. It was like 100 days of 3x4 drawings. And then at the end, they did a show. And if you didn't buy something by midnight of that show day, they had a bonfire and burned the rest.
Wow.
And so she went from, I know it's watercolor that she was using, but it's very possible that with some of these more vibrant colors, she used acrylic in a very washed out way. Wonderful grain there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Besides the bod. In addition to. So also wonderful little style there, but I know that that's graphite. So there's very little smudgy. And then the next artist is Audrey Kawasaki, who is very well known. Oops. And wonderful, wonderful work. So yeah, graphite is her medium, and she uses a range from acrylics, soft pastels, oils. She uses it all. She does sometimes mention charcoal, but graphite is her primary, and it's for, she also, what she does, which we can do this in a project, is she'll draw first and then seal it and then paint.
Okay.
So I'd like to also explore that. I had made note of that for the future. So, I mean, there's some works that she has where you can kind of tell if it's oil, like this one with the smooth transitions, and then some that are a little bit more graphic. And I'm pretty sure that would be acrylic. So oil is good for blending, right? You want blends. There you go. But the graphic work in the back is probably acrylic because it's easier for the drying time. Yeah. She's fun if you look at, look, the mushroom lady. How appropriate.
Beautiful.
Yes, I adore her work, and her posts are fantastic as well. As she's very honest, she's very introverted, and being well known, she talks about that, about how she requires space and that she embraces the solitude. And so her artwork is gorgeous, but then also she shares relevant things. So she's worth following. I follow her on Instagram. I'm not sure where else she posts, but let's do a little share beyond everyone else who's not in the room, because we're here. Does anyone want to share? Did you continue working on your piece? Let me have it. Let me see.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
You probably saw it, Charlena, because I put it up on Facebook, but it's a first layer. And I've thrown a lot of
Gorgeous.
Nice.
so it is, pencil, charcoal, Conte crayon, pastels. And it's not fixed, so I will not touch it. I need to fix it and
take a pic. Are you done? Are you sorry when you
No,
said
I don't think I'm done. No.
you think the surface can handle more?
Well, it's worth a try.
Because it looks very developed to me. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's calling you, go for it. But there's depth where in the trunks where it draws my eye, and then it's really nice and soft in the upper area and really quite lovely. But yeah, it's your choice. Whatever you do, take a picture when you're finished. Take a picture before you fix it, okay?
Okay.
Because
All right.
it will change your work.
Yeah, because I do have a tendency to overwork things, and I have actually gone back and looked at some of my paintings in progress, and I can see exactly where I went past the line. Using the wrong words, but I can see it would have been so much better if I had stopped right there.
Well, so okay.
Maybe this is a lesson in stopping.
Well, I would stop for now because we're going to get into a different project. But one of the cautionary bits of advice there is not about overworking your work. It's just that when you spray a mixed media piece, it will change immediately. So whatever you do, take a picture before you spray it. And then just always be gentle about spraying. If anyone ever needs me to talk about fixing or doing a spray varnish again, just let me know and I will.
Okay, I might reach out to you about that. Sure.
Yeah, we can do it before we end the class. It's just, it will change your work. There's no way it can't, right?
I know.
You have all this soft stuff on there.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand fixing is not like, oh, I'm going to do it so gentle, it's not going to do anything. No. No. It will change it, and that has to be part of. So in that, yes, you do have to stop a little bit ahead. You can't just be like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I would like to stop here.
Yeah.
Because that fixing and the spraying of the soft pastel is the next step.
Right.
And if you blow off all that dust, that can't just sit there.
No, I know. I have that. I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it does merit going slower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful, Esther. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you to stop. I really can't. I
Well,
just don't think that's
maybe I'll
fair.
stop because, like I say, I do have this tendency, and it's the perfectionist in me, and it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Well, just
It's
but
not.
just do the question, right? So you're seeking a perfection of what? Like, where are you going? There is no one else other than you telling you this is enough. So if you're like, well, how do you walk yourself through that? How do you know that you need more
Yeah.
when you when you don't have a goalpost?
Yeah. What's the intention?
Right.
Well, that's true. That's true, and that's probably why I just keep, dabbing away at things.
Right.
But really what I'm after is some kind of mood or feeling. I want, like, the viewer to feel something.
So then
That's
how
what I
you could
want.
probably get a good guide as to when it's finished is to share it as you've been doing, because
Okay.
for you to know that someone else is feeling it, you have to share it. And
Okay.
you have to hear that word of, oh, I feel this. So you could start saying, hey, I think I'm done, everyone. What are you feeling from this?
Mhm.
And then hopefully get some affirmation. That when you're alone, the question is not that much different. Is, if you add one or two more things, is it actually enhancing the piece,
Right.
or will it take away?
Yes.
Like, so in Open Studio last week, I'll just spotlight to share, because I was like, I want to do this and I want to do this and that. But I was really working slow. And because I haven't gone back to it, I'm kind of like, you know what? I think it's all good. It's all there. I was like, oh, I'm going to put a spider web here and this and that. But then I asked myself, will it make it better?
Mm.
Like, is the story there? Or if I put in a spider web, or, what else was in those references? Like, let's just say like a little leaf or something that's obvious. Is it too much now? Is the response that I got from everyone that it's perfectly mysterious, and that if I start telling you more, or am I taking you out of the participation of it?
Mhm.
Like, I'm telling you exactly what you're seeing, and then maybe it's a little too much. Now, you can always be too much. I hate that whole, like, be less in life, quiet yourself, tone yourself down. No, if you want that, but then that's no question, right? Then you're just keep working away. You don't even ask. So I think as soon as you start asking questions, that whether it's of yourself or other people, it's
Right.
kind of a sign to stop.
That's the key. That is what I was going to say. Sometimes when I get into that perfectionist mode, it's more I'm thinking, "Oh, what are people going to think?"
And then that's not about perfection, is
No.
it?
No,
Okay.
it's
But we're
not
not in
really.
therapy here.
Yeah, let's not go there.
But you understand
I'm in
where
therapy,
that's
so
going, like, for
yeah.
all of us, because you're not alone in that feeling,
Yeah.
Esther, like we all do. But really, I think it's about something deeper and asking yourself a different question in that regard,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, so, and then let's keep sharing.
I can share.
Christine, here we go.
Cool.
Oh, and so you brightened things up with, was it
Yeah.
white charcoal?
It's actually paint
Pastel?
with the
Um,
what do you
Gouache?
call it? I've lost the word.
Gouache?
What?
No, it's watercolor, sparkly.
Oh, cool.
Iridescent.
That's the
Yeah.
word. Thank you.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, it's tribal, all that geometric happenings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strange, huh?
Well, cool.
Strangely wonderful. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh no. But what I lost in that
Uh-huh.
was the grain behind. So how to incorporate showing the ground to
Right.
what you have. I did a lot of back and forth erasing because, like I said, it was fighting. I was fighting.
Well, yes, if it was like working with the grain, if you can get past that, you may not be able to see the grain anymore, but you still worked with it, it's a success. There's so much amazing ins and outs of the tree shape, the fallen tree, and you brought it to a really mystical place. So that's a winner.
It was fun.
And in all of the challenges is winning as well, right? Because now you're recognizing that having to go too far too dark is then a hell of a long road to pull back, and actually sometimes very impossible to. So that is something we will explore, and I hope you run into almost doing it too much. I know wood surfaces aren't like super cheap, but like to be able to open to messing up and actually going too far into the dark. And then we'll have to, at that point, talk about working with opacity and like how to bring things back, which I think is really important and could also open up some cool.
Just to recognize that you're fighting it, okay, what is it about this? I'm not happy with it. And what is it that's taking me there? So,
That it's not you, it's the medium. And it could very well be the wood. Did anyone struggle with the wood?
I did.
Stacy, you did, didn't you? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I'm really not happy with it. I need to do more to it, but I don't like the spreading, so I just kind of stopped working on it.
Oh, I love the tree.
Yeah, me too.
I was thinking of just doing like a white gouache wash over the background just to kind of soften it out so this stands out more. Really dark.
Yeah, your color is incredibly rich, and if it's watercolor, that means you can add more water to it and just let it bleed.
Right. Yeah, and it was lighter, but I didn't like the bleeding. So I added more pigmented wash, and then it got too dark. So I need to figure out how to pull it back.
I'm going to suggest on your piece, I actually think you could work it with going into like acrylic or something different, or even bringing in oil now, which would mean to put in like clear gesso over those areas. The wood is the problem here. It's not your planning. It's not your color choices. It's the wood, right? So in that, I'd be like, okay, just prime the sucker and don't fight it. Because then you can even still bring in watercolor and gouache over top of that. But if the wood is the issue, that's your surface, then prepare it with a clear gesso or a matte medium, or maybe some of that cool Gamblin medium you have.
Yeah, I think I have to read more about that 3-in-1 medium, but I think they said not to do acrylic over that. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think it's strictly oil for that one. But you could do charcoal, but not really any acrylic. I don't know about gouache. I didn't read anything about that. So
right. Well, then I guess pick one.
Yeah.
If you bring in more gouache as it is, though, it's just going to mix in with all the color that's there because there's nothing preventing it from reconstituting, right?
Right. And I was thinking that was okay with me, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, then do that first. I would do that first. Bring in the gouache. That was your instinct. Go for it. Let it dry and then see what to do. I think if for what it's worth, I would just go really bright and bold because you have such a nice, simple, strong design in the tree. To go chaotic and just let this piece be an explosion, because that's what I'm feeling from it. And maybe it wants to be like let it be then. Because if it doesn't work out, girl, just white gesso.
Right.
So yeah. But I love the experimentation and the design in the trunk. And so if you can protect that to some extent, there's really no reason to even touch that.
Okay.
In my opinion. Any feedback for Stacy about, because this is a real tricky one with the wood.
I love the colors.
Yeah, I mean, I love the tree.
Lovely.
Yeah,
It's dynamic.
it is.
I'd go with that feeling.
I don't know if you can, there is gold, so it is shiny in spots.
Yeah.
Like here and there.
Wow.
I like the line work, actually. I wouldn't cover up too much of those.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just have to work on the background then.
I'm craving, because you have like in the color, and I love all the scribbles, but because there are like two very diagonal lines, like there and there. Yeah. I'm craving just something strong going through them. Yeah. Not thick or anything, just, just something to create a ziggy-zaggy situation.
Okay. All right.
I think I'm going to have fun with words today. I have no idea. What is that? What is that? Well, I know how it feels to run into something that's not going to working out, or in class where it's not going where you wanted it to, and then not going back to it. So if that ever happens, just so you know, that's okay. It's up to you. I personally have made really smart decisions in my life to let something be abandoned. And to just keep moving on. So if you want to force yourself to ever finish something, I'll back you up. But if you ever also are like, you know what, I did not like that, or I'd like to do that again, usually those are better decisions that I would encourage. Mm-hmm. As long as you're not miserable. Okay. So it's like, don't force yourself to, because, I have to do this. Yes, if you want to complete something, yes, but perhaps it's like you need to put together a different material selection or something. Okay. April, I want to spotlight.
I don't have a lot of experience like you guys do, so I'm really dark, and then didn't have time to work on it afterwards. But I would like any suggestions that I can maybe work a little more on it, or I can abandon it too. It's more about I really love working on wood. So
no, it's a celebration. I love it.
There's a party going on in the back.
Yeah, it's like feels like light feather boa, feeling like the colors. They feel very light, and I like that a lot.
I think it's fun. I like the wood. I'm going to keep working on it even after the class. This is something I think I really like.
Well, I wouldn't do anything else to it. Does anyone else have a suggestion? I quite like it.
I think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
The pinky mauve in it. That's fun.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I would sign it and put it up and decide that it's finished for now, and then see how it feels for you as you go. To me, there's no need to have any more to this. It's got all the right complexity where it needs to be, and then also loose and light surrounding it. I mean, as a particular thing of finishing, I would say that when we're all working is try to really go to the edge here and there, so that it just doesn't feel like you're avoiding the edges with some of the color. But that's easily, just a couple more strokes if you needed it, right? Just to be mindful that it doesn't look like you're afraid of the edge. And that something that actually I don't think I might have mentioned to us, but if you do like clean wood edges, that you should be taping the edges of your boards, just in case there's any drips or whatnot. Okay. That's like a preparation thing that I always forget to do myself. So taping edges is good. April, it's gorgeous. I hope that feeling changes for you, for us all, is that it's that you would be excited about this and feel at this level. I think it's amazing.
Much that you guys, there's so many mediums I haven't worked with, but I'm excited. I don't even care. I'm just giving it a go. So
right. That's great.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. And I love you. Who else do we got? Carol, do you want to share where you are at?
I'm not sure which way, but here we are. Are we in there?
Oh, wow. I know it's a bit blurry, honey. I don't know if it's your camera or it's not your work. I think it's just that your camera feels a bit
maybe it needs the cleaning.
Do you want do you have a little rag? Give us a little buff.
Yep.
Squeaky, 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 squeak, squeak, squeak. Well, that did help a little bit, actually.
Did I actually make it? Okay.
It looks angelic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I thought it was a little darker and heavier through the wood section. So I did go back in there and try to lighten that up, but
you were fading it too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I had it this way at one point.
I like it like that. Yeah, there's good weight. And I love the colors. I feel like you have like an earthy rainbow in there. I feel kindred to those colors, that palette. I feel like I'm not being able to see the details, but it doesn't feel too dark to me. And yet I do like it dark, honey. So it's like, I respect if anyone feels like, oh, the charcoal's too dark. But to me, I don't feel this is. So I guess you succeeded in pulling back. Are you happy with the value now?
Yeah, much more than I was.
Okay, good.
At one point, it was way too heavy. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I'd love to see a picture of it, Carol. So if ever you could take a snapshot and email it to me, I would appreciate that, because then I can see the detail in it, which I'd love to see. Well, okay. What a success. I feel that all of these works are amazing as a beginning thing. Listen, this is Betty, sorry, honey.
Well, I'm not too happy with mine, so.
All right, bring it on. Let's talk.
I feel like I did overwork it. And so at the end, I just threw on some, I used a pipette and used some acrylic metallic ink.
Copper, huh?
Well, it says it's autumn gold, but it does have a coppery look.
Yeah, that's stunning, Betty.
It is stunning.
I love the way yours looks like it's actually in the
Yeah.
I felt like I did overwork the background, so I was having a hard time getting any contrast.
Yeah.
Next to the wood, And I did cover up the wood so much that you're not really sure what I painted it on, but I like working on the wood.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I don't think that you were meant to have contrast in the grass, because it's supposed to be in the wood. So the fact that you have a lot of layers and stuff happening in the grasses, it feels like the wood is being hugged without it being overwhelmingly in the same value scale. So actually, I think that worked out really well for you.
Oh, okay.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so there's your level of perfectionism right there. Betty and I have had a lot of talks about that whole feeling.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
But it's also a vision that you have to manage. I don't know where you're capable of taking things. Like, that is exceptional depth and realism, Betty.
Oh.
And then you also go take your freak flag out with the copper autumn gold, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, so I love that balance. Like you're taking it to, that's a style choice and I wouldn't ever be able to work like that. Because I don't see things that way. So that is, so instead of, let's rename this, okay? So instead of perfectionism, you're looking for a commitment of time and just like a lot of layers, because that's how you develop those illusions.
But I feel like you do that. I feel like that's where I got it from, is from you, that ability to, I never would have been able to add those little blobs of
Mm.
ink like that if it hadn't been for you and the little whimsical marks you make and things you do like that.
I'll take credit for the blobs. Yeah. Yeah, I can take that. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that this is good. It's just realizing your style and how much.
Charlena, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just I didn't actually follow the same reference that everybody else did. I worked with my own photo. This is me. I had just ended up, but I'll try and follow the reference that you put up. And when I worked on the photo that I was looking at, it was actually flowers. And for some reason, this is me. Like sometimes this is what happens with me. Anyway, there you go.
Did you know that rule breakers are my favorite?
Well,
listen, the project material that I put together is to satisfy a whole bunch of things, right? That I'm guiding something, that I'm along the journey, and there's just, got to be some sort of commitment to, if you want to follow along a demo, you want to see what, the steps are. If you are able to take that and apply it to your own, which is eventually the goal, and you can do that, amazing. Oh. So it's okay. It's open. And I knew that you did that, and that's all good. Yeah. Okay. You still have the recording. So in the future, if you're ever like, you know what, actually, I do like that project, I want to do it.
I want to, after seeing, I'm inspired by everybody else. So I want to.
I'm really thrilled that it was more of a conceptual start to things. Right? It was like taking little pieces that really kind of, you get to choose what represents you and reflects your personality. Now we're going to move into our next project, which is, mostly about atmospheric perspective and negative space. So really, has anyone not looked at either of those two things?
Atmospheric perspective, not sure what that is. No.
Okay, but you've done negative space projects? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the reference photo for our next piece. I've printed out both. I'm going to probably do like a merge, because they're so similar. I just sometimes, believe it or not, I can't choose. And then I didn't want to composite, I just thought you can pick based on the shadows, which is something in the Notan is a little bit easier. Do you like them this way with this open space and maybe doing some really like focused bright light here? Or do you like this? I mean, it's really the same forest, just a couple of steps to the left. So what my thoughts are for this is to draw out with charcoal. I'm still going to suggest charcoal despite our conversation, okay? Because it's going to work with atmospheric perspective, which is about how the sky and lighting changes our view of depth. So this goes into the fact that there is no direct light source here. It's an opening, it's a clearing up here, but it's probably that the sun is high and that there's an opening here so that it's over there. And that's why we get the shadows this way. So then what? Everything for atmospheric perspective is all about anything in the foreground is sharper. It's really crisp. It's got the highest contrast. And it's generally warmer. So the temperature is warmer, which brings things forward. And so in the back, we've got less detail. So it's smudgy. And we have cooler. So I'm going to put a little moon. Oops. So it's cooler colors because they recede. And everything above and the mood that you want to create, everything in the sky affects these things when you look at realism or referencing real life or photos. But we can change the mood as we please. So this is what I'd like to do today, is to pick a color, any color from the rainbow that you like and that will support a mood, because every single color has a warm and cool. We don't have to sketch this out. Oh, here, this is one. We don't have to sketch this out, but here's an example of, I started to do this. I haven't finished it, but sorry, buddy. So if I did the whole thing in like yellow and orange, do you remember that Klimt one that I showed you? And his was like very red.
Yes.
That's going to have a very different feeling than if I do blue and violet. And I'm just kind of lumping those together because with yellow, you'll have a cool yellow, which is usually a yellow light. And then you'll have a warm yellow, which would be like an Indian yellow, which gets into the orange family. You can also do something completely surreal, like I will probably venture off doing, because I never stick to the plan, that I have fluorescent paints now, and I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to use them. So I've started thinking, okay, I'm going to definitely do fluorescent pink trunks. Because that's kooky and I really want to do that. But then everything around might be green, and I'll just stick to like more of so I'm thinking that'll be my palette, because this is the mood I want to vibe with. So it's literally choosing based on a feeling and nothing to do with reality necessarily. So that's the beginning. I don't want to necessarily do these little thumbnails as a group, but if you feel you might need to do that, then you could grab your sketchbook I'm going to do a beginning demo to get us started so that you can get a sense of where this is all going.
How many colors should we pick? Are you just doing like the cool and the warm of one of the colors, or cool and a warm plus a complementary or something like that?
I'm going to say cool and warm of like one color. So just to start and then see how that opens up. Okay. I'd hate to limit, but if you say I'd like to do something violet today, it's going to automatically take you into like alizarin crimsons and deep violets and like warm and cool, and then that stuff in between. And then you might be like, well, damn it, I need some yellow somewhere because of its complement. So I'd like that to just stay open. So just choose one color to start with, a warm and cool of that. Like here, this is fluorescent yellow and then like a pea green. So that would be my warm and cool. Okay. Warm, cool. So this has got clear gesso on it. I'm going to come in with charcoal very loose. Now I'm coming in loose and I will stay loose. But if you like very refined lines, please still start loose. You can refine them afterwards. So I wanted to focus more on the forest floor. So I'd like to just really note how much this horizon is. Like, it's at least a third. So depending on the size of your surface, instead of, because we don't have treetops. So really, let's give the ground some space here. And we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to make sure I get in these are the stars of the show, because atmospheric perspective also relies on where things are in relation to the others. So these trees, which don't actually flare out too much, these trees are the most important because they're in the foreground. And there we go.
May I ask a quick question?
Oh, anytime, yes.
I got kicked out of the Wi-Fi died, so I'm back in. But what is the surface? What did you put on your wood? Did you put anything on your wood that we're working on?
This had clear gesso.
Okay, that's what I was going to work on. So good deal. Thanks.
Of course. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know that you got kicked out, April, but I did see you come back, and I'm glad you did get back.
I have a Wi-Fi hotspot. I think Comcast Xfinity's down, so I was able to log in with the hotspot. So.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Not at all. No, please. Anytime. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to these are going to be light, right? So I'm going to pull back this because this is me going too dark too quick. And that's just how I am. So I'm going to lighten that up. And you'll find erasing much better on the gesso or whatever. Did anyone prepare with something different than gesso? Because even if it's a matte medium, it doesn't matter what you used. Even a dry media ground, it'll always be better erasing than right on the wood. And then now all of these trees in the distance are going to be secondary actors. And I'm just mapping in a couple of them, okay? So we have different planes here. This tree should be lower and this tree higher. Just whatever you do, that they're on different planes. So at this stage, you get to kind of decide how much drawing do you want to do before you get into painting. You can do as much now as you want. You can do it later. I think for the sake of the demo, I'll do more later. So what I'm going to show is just the next step. But you can refine your drawing more. For me, what's important is that I've got at least those main ones in the foreground. Okay. Holy crow, that's bright. Okay. It's so bright. Oh, you can't see my palette here. Just move because that's crazy bright. So that's going to be my cool color. And so I'm going to note that this area, I'll just use some soft pastel. This area here is kind of like where all the light's heading, and we've got some wonderful shadows because of it. And then also we know that the light's coming from up here. That's enough for me to just say those are going to be my warm areas. And so all the cool tones that I have will be back in here. An interesting way to do negative space. I'm going to work around the main ones. And I like working right on in, especially with this bright color. This is where the charcoal is just working for me, though, because it's unexpected bright color. Remember, this is the first stage, right? So it's really a lot of mess. I mean, you don't just build a house and have it look like a house. You have delivered all these 2x4s and nails, and it does not look like a house at first. So this is just building. Coming from the horizon, all of the trees and behind the main ones. And I made a little mistake here. That's okay. Fine. Because I didn't draw things out with care. So that's why you can do better in your drawing. So that's the cool. And then to have the warm, then I can come in and create that shape of the warm areas.
And you're using oil paint?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you would use water with acrylic at this stage.
Are you using a medium with that, Charlena?
Just Gamsol.
Okay.
And that's with the fat over lean. So this is like the first layer, which, I mean, I don't expect to do too many, but you can even, it's really the acrylics as well. You can come in and you can smudge things around. This is really just mapping things out. I'll be right back. I am just going to get some gloves because it's been a while since I've used oil paint, and woohoo, is she messy?
Are you going to go back and add more trees, or how do you?
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay.
And with charcoal at that. So right on into the paint.
Okay.
Once I feel like I have things established, color wise, like, I typically suggest you should have a little bit of paint everywhere. So, here and there I don't. But just to then go, okay, this is now pretty flat color. Some's mixed in with the charcoal. But if I now come in with the charcoal and go into where I know I want it to be dark, especially in behind. So even though atmospheric perspective tends to make things lighter in the distance, like say a mountain, that's why mountains look like misty and violet or blue because of the atmosphere and how that interferes with our color and distance. But in the forest, we have a canopy, so we actually have some really good darks in the distance. And I really like the texture I'm getting from the gesso, so I'm going to try not to cover that up so much. I quite like it. And that smudges so delightfully. But
what did you smudge it with?
My finger.
Okay. So like you wouldn't put your other tools on top of the oil.
Yeah. I can, here, I'll take, this is one of the brushes that I had with like a yellow, and then I'll pull that right on in. So you want a rag to keep from it getting too dark. So I'm kind of like erasing with the paint. You can do this with acrylics as well, as long as it's still wet. I'll come down so you can see this a bit closer. Sorry.
I'm still trying to figure out colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. What's your main color?
Oh, I can't figure it out. Maybe cobalt teal.
Okay, so basically cobalt teal, how that's kind of categorized as a green blue green. So those would be, go from there. So grab a blue, grab a green, grab your cobalt teal, grab a yellow, and that's how your palette starts extending.
Okay, so cobalt teal, maybe indanthrum blue, or is that too dark?
Nope.
Now, would you go sap or Viridian?
Viridian will give you the mixes that you want to be like vibrant, like the teal. Okay. So I would choose Viridian, yeah.
So what would be the warm color then? The teal?
Viridian.
Oh, I thought Viridian was cool.
Not in comparison to your indanthrine blue. If Viridian was on its own, it would be cool. But in this situation, it's warm. Just implodes your brain. Let me get a color chart.
Right. Okay. Here we go. So Viridian.
Okay. So here we go. We have cobalt teal as sort of the main color. And it's made out of a blue and a green, right?
Right.
So where's Viridian? So if you had, and I don't have indanthrine on here, but it's still sort of like a phthalo. So that's definitely going to be cool. And then yes, Viridian in comparison to sap would be like cool.
Yeah.
But without sap, that's going to be your warm.
Okay.
So if you want something more obviously warm, well, you could choose sap. But Viridian is going to give you kind of, I think, well, no, that's a personal thing. I guess whichever one you like with your cobalt. They both look nice. I would pick one. I don't think you can go wrong. I wouldn't use both. It's a little too much on the palette.
Okay.
I don't think you can go wrong. You could actually lose the green and just choose yellow and do yellow and blue. Could be.
Oh, yeah.
And then make your own green and say, to hell with you, sap. Out with you, Viridian. I don't need you. Why do you guys put up with me?
Because you give a lot of sparkle to life.
Talk back to your colors. Don't let them control you.
The whole thing's controlling me. It's okay. It's fun.
So I am going to take my warmest, which is right now I'm choosing to go with that fluorescent red. So this might even be where it's like a third color. Okay. Whatever color you feel is going to really pull it forward. It could end up being like yellow. Usually it's a warm. So yellow, orange. You can still have a warm blue or green, but I'm going to put that color, I'm just placing it very loosey right now into those main trees, just so that I have them marked in.
All right, I'm changing my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I support you, Nat. Okay.
I think the Quinn Violet is speaking to me.
And what'd she say?
She's saying, definitely go with me. What should I do?
Take a walk.
Is that a red flag? I'm joking. She's confident. She knows what she wants.
And now I don't know what other color.
Quinn Violet? Which, okay, so then how about say Quinn Magenta? Then that would end up being, do you have Quinn Magenta?
I do.
Yeah.
So, so
there you have a warm and cool right there.
All right. Am I the only one that hasn't begun painting yet?
I'm going to say maybe.
No, I haven't started either. I'm slow.
Nobody's as fast as Charlene.
Oh, right.
Well, and I'm going to keep going so that you have it on recorded,
Yeah.
and then you can always look back. It was suggested to me, like at some point, to record sort of parts of a class first, send it out, let everyone get to a certain point, and then get together again. And I was like, so here I know I can't do that, because if I sit here alone and I record by myself, it has such a different energy.
Yeah.
So I think that it's like the best I can do is be live with you. Okay, so this is the idea. It's very exaggerated because I wanted to do fluorescent. Just ignore me sometimes, okay? The yellow, green, blue is the warm and cool. So I have blue in the distance here, and what I'll continue to push with charcoal where it makes sense is the blue in the background, and then at the tops, because that's going to be the coolest, but not in and around this area. So I'll bring in some blue, but the green to like yellow makes the most sense. So I'm looking at maybe where there's a cluster of branches or greenery. And okay, yes, it's also dark on the forest floor. Okay, this is where I'm going to start bringing in the blue down here as well. And at the horizon that we can't see past this forest path. And then looking at, so the negative space is like, this is how we're just avoiding the trees in a way at this point, looking to see also to paint in and around the highlights where the sun is, because that's kind of a nice part of this reference. still at this stage, realizing this is just still blocking in. Oh, oops. This is what happens when you reference both references at the same time. I have two shadows. I have to pick one. Okay. Oh, there's so much cat hair. Always, as you're working, just remember these are what really matters is the area of highlight in the foreground, that everything else can get whatever, go wherever it needs to go or wherever it's going to take you. But if you can keep that light by wiping back or underworking it, that will be a nice invitation into the piece. I'm going to flip this upside down, just work on it upside down for a bit so that I can get the trees at the top without getting paint all over my hands. I tend to work flat anyway, but it is sometimes good to have an easel. And I'm taking the cool version of my main trees to put in with the cool background. There's a lot of trees in there. You don't have to get them all, but if they start at that horizon level, they will look like they're in the distance, even if they're just lines. One of the things I liked about these trays are the arms that come out. And so I'm going to put those, or some of them in, because to me, that's about the mood. It's like old forest vibes. Mm. And here I'm just getting into this one area where I put in the trees, and then I just want a couple of little, areas of light in between them. And so that's the kind of negative painting where you're painting in between. You definitely don't need to guess. This can be done when you have all of the positive shapes and you're like, okay, it's too dark, for example. I'd like to lighten that up. So then choose an opaque color, less medium, looking for coverage.
Mm.
You can use your cool colors to get into shadows, but one of the reasons why I continue to use charcoal is to come in on a shadow side with charcoal. Can just instantly create like a shadow. And as long as you haven't gotten too heavy with acrylic, it shouldn't matter if it's acrylic as your medium, because the wood is catching on. So you can always use paint color, but I find charcoal to be very efficient.
Well, you can go now. There you go.
There are definitely times when charcoal is just way too dark. So that's where using the cool color. At this stage with acrylics, I would suggest moving beyond water and adding polymer to your water so that you're creating a little bit of stability. And that would be the same with oil at this stage, is to maybe add just a bit of linseed and solvent if that's what you're using. Here's an example of one of the media collisions. So this could happen with soft pastel or not. Oops, sorry. Let's get into focus here. So that is just that soft because it was charcoal and then blended. And that's like, I would leave that because that's, a nice soft blend. Okay, I'm gonna do a check-in. We've been painting, so because we shared and talked for first quarter. So I just want to know where everyone's at before I say, "Oh, haha, I'm done." Just
Uncharacteristically, I have started painting, just decided because it's been so long since I did anything with oils that I just dove in, which is not like me. But
yeah.
I do need some guidance because I just haven't done it in 10 years, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I kind of used some of your color ideas. I knew I wanted to do like a maroon and orange. I knew I wanted something like that.
Ooh, I
But
love
I went with your lime green in the background, and I thought I could bring in the maroon with the trees.
Yep.
Oh wow. I like
And
this.
I liked and some of my oils, believe me or not, some are okay and some aren't. So that's a real surprise here too.
Well, for oils to get not okay, so does that mean that oils leaked out?
In a couple of them they did. Some of
Okay.
them the tubes are so dry that I'm probably going to destroy the tube trying to open it. But I'm able to get cobbled together enough colors to do something. The biggest problem I had was when I did some erasing on that gesso,
Mm-hmm.
the pieces of eraser are into the paint now, so that's going to add to the texture.
Yep. It's just like kitten hair.
So do you think I'm okay with thinking of doing like the maroon violet in the trees for my dark in the background and for my dark sides of my trees? You think that'll be okay?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, that it doesn't show up the color in that. It's really lime green here.
Mm-hmm.
My green isn't showing that way in the on the screen. I mean, it's limey. Yellowy green.
Well, I would definitely use the orange. Like go if it's lime green as your cool in the background, then in with the reddish, bring in some orange, just really bright too for the sunspot area. So in here,
And where?
like in here, really go orange.
Okay.
So that like this feels really bright and high, like, so I know that that's bright orange. So I guess I mean like a light orange. So I'd be
Okay.
adding yellow to that, which again, that kind of extends your palette, right?
Okay.
Ashley,
All right.
come on. What's the matter? You're out of food?
Is Carol, is that your kitten?
Oh, yes. Can you hear him complaining away? He wants to be sitting in the lap.
Aww.
Come on. And the dog just went out. So, of course, he's not happy when the dog leaves. You're fine. I'll check your food bowl when you get up.
There's just it, way back they say the Egyptians, revered cats, right? And they were like waited on hand and foot, but then now the cats are just so lazy. They don't even, get up on the throne to be worshipped. They just literally demand. I don't even need to do anything to be for you to be in response, like where go sit on your throne then. No, just feed me. So they're lazy.
They are. It's not even just feed me. It's I don't think I want that one today. Let me have another one. They're so picky.
Just anytime you want a chicken, just let me know. I'm just putting in some scribbles in the foreground here because to me, the foreground also needs to have the most detail. And it's all, wood. And so I think like wood chips and pine needles and stuff like that. So once you kind of have some color down, to go back in, and this is where I do like to have all those wonderful expressive marks that we talk about so much. And what does that mean? It's just to have built up lines and shapes to create visual movement.
I would check in.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see it. Okay.
Excellent.
A lot of glare, but
Excellent. Love the width of the trees. They feel like strong and sturdy. Yeah. Keep going in the bottom. I just work in the bottom for a bit, build up that color right off the edge. And I think just as I had to do, choose your shadow direction and just kind of get those in. Yeah, it's looking great. You can't go wrong with, that's why I said, here's two, they're so similar. You can't go wrong because both of those, the shadows worked. So as long as you're using one of them as a guide, not both. I tried that. It don't work. Confusing unnecessarily.
okay.
Possibly you might have to adjust your colors as you go, whereas you might have thought that one thing was going to be warm enough for the light patch and the light coming through the top on the left. Because if it's not, like I just found out that the yellow that I chose is not actually warm enough. It was actually my cadmium green. That was the warm one. And I'm like, okay, so I was wrong. So I adjust. Again, I don't know these colors so well. So what I thought was not.
When you do charcoal over the oil,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to fix it?
Nope. No, the oil binds it. No, I've never fixed any piece that had oil and charcoal. Now, mind you, I'm not leaving it so that it's like I'm not just blowing charcoal powder on it. Even if I did, actually, I still wouldn't fix it because I'd be like, as soon as it's dry, I would wipe off anything that didn't stick. And then I'd be like, that's it.
Okay.
Here's kind of another example of like I'm holding the board up just so that because trying to figure out the best sort of attachment for demos. Working with 2 right now. There's just never been one that just hit all the marks. Okay, so I'm sorry, this is a bit wiggly, but so I put in charcoal, like this is to define these tree branches because I really like the pattern there. So then I'm coming in with that tree color and I'm working it into the oil, or sorry, the charcoal. So sometimes I've left it as is, and then sometimes I'm actually working it right in. So if you just, I mean, again, anyone want to check in anytime, just say so. But for where this demo is right now, it's telling me I do not want to overwork this because it's bright colors. And the more I add, the muddier it's going to get. So then I start to assess, where do I need to go? The main star of the shows. Then now I'm looking at the part of the branches that I really like, like whatever, the ones that are crossing, because any kind of layering, stacking something in front of something else will work. Actually, what I did just there won't work. Just as a perspective thing, that branch has to be in behind. So that's even for willy-nilly people like me who say you can break all the rules. That would actually be very uncomfortable for people if you had something that technically is behind this tree. So any tree that's lower is more forward. And so this guy, all the branches have to be in behind this guy. But that's where I kind of go. I'm going to look at these trees again, making sure that they feel grounded. So I'm spending enough time on where they meet the forest floor, having some interest there on the forest floor, kind of adjusting any lines I do not like. Because we didn't fix any of the charcoal drawing, you can cover up anything that you'd started with. Like I'm just actually trying to work it in. So looking at the base, and then again, I'll start to go, does this horizon line back here where these other trees are in the distance, does that feel like it's grounded? And that's working in between your tree stars. So whatever color you choose, if it's distinctive enough, it kind of makes it easy for you to just, okay, you start and stop. Pushes it back because it's cool. Where else can you use that color from there to have it bouncing around? Do you need to have a whole bunch of trees? No, you do not. They don't even need to be all the same, like temperature or color. It's just a matter of these stars of the show being your warmest and your brightest and having the most detail should do it. And that's when all the other aspects of atmospheric perspective can go out the window, even though we started with them. Yeah, truly, I'm like, it doesn't actually have to mean you stick with it the whole way, but starting with the intent can really just set yourself up for allowing it to be just insinuated. And yes, it's there a little bit. So, which is a really good approach for learning something. So if you're like, I'm not exactly getting, negative painting was so bloody hard for me. It still is. I mean, I can do it kind of subconsciously, but to come up with projects and train about it, I still get out books. Okay. Because it's like I get things theoretically. Sometimes that's one of them. Oh, look at my hand making all these wonderful patterns over here. Yeah. So sometimes it's like, okay, I've done some works that, like I took a course once with Linda Kemp, who is the master of negative painting. She's the one who wrote the book, Painting Outside the Lines, A Positive Approach to Negative Painting. It is one of the go-to books that I'm so lucky to have because I believe it's out of print now. And she wrote one about acrylics. So if you can ever get your hands on it, it's amazing. But yeah, I took a class with her and I was like, I know these projects. Yeah, of course. I was so frustrated and it was not her fault. I was just like frustrated with myself. And it got to the point where I'm like, just because you theoretically know something doesn't mean you can apply it. I love it. April's like, yep.
In all areas of life.
Yes. That's why therapy is lifelong.
It is. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I think it's so important to be like, it's why with tattooing, like, so, I told you I bought a tattoo machine and I've been practicing tattooing on fake skin, not real people. It's going to take a long time before I get there. And to do what's traditionally like an apprenticeship would start with a stencil and doing really clean lines. I will not make it as a tattoo person if I have to do that. So what I said was, to heck with that. I am just going to freehand and just get familiar with the machine and not bother with the stenciling because I have no timeline for myself. Like there's no pressure other than what's personally implemented. So I'm just playing. And my friend was like, "Oh my God, someday can you tattoo a pickle?" She's Swiss, right? So, and so yesterday I tattooed a pickle on the thick skin, and it looks like a pickle. And I would never just offer to do it because I'm like, there's a lot of other things I need to learn. But I'm like, okay, I can do it. Now I know it's not perfect. I haven't implemented all of the things, but to just sometimes, my point is just sometimes do it, even if you're not getting it. Just do it anyway. Excuse me, mister. Sorry, not you, ladies. Okay, 1 second. Excuse me. Oh, no. No. Go upstairs. Wait for me upstairs. Go upstairs. Excuse me. Go upstairs. Go. Lay down. Hey, if he thinks that if he bugs me at 10 to 12 every Saturday, that means he's smart. So now you're going to witness this in action. If next week he does this, it means he knows he's going to get a chicken back. And he does know how to tell time. So we'll see.
He's intuitive.
I guess my hands aren't that bad. I was just worried because I'm like working in oil, right? Mm-mm. Just as I'm kind of applying medium to this paint, just to remind us that one of the tricks for all of this working, regardless of, little run-ins or, how or why or preferences, is that we're working in thin layers. So just something to keep in mind that once you start getting thicker and thicker with your paint, then other than the inevitable of probably covering up all the wood grain, and you might not see the wood grain after this piece, but that's okay. We're just working on the gesso. Is that once you start getting thick, then it kind of throws it all out the window. Working with drawing media, or why would you have prepared your surface with clear gesso if you had a really nice piece of wood? Just so it is a cause for thinner paint application and layers. It's something that I do quite naturally. So I'm just kind of pointing it out, depending on how carried away you might get. But staying thin is sort of a recipe for success.
Could I do a check-in?
Please.
Tough time here.
How stunning. Stunning.
I feel like the trees are, I can't get it. They're too dark.
They're not, but they're not dark enough in one spot. Yeah. Okay.
Dark enough?
Not in one area, like in a section. Here, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I should probably be able to do. Let me take my gloves off, Stacey. I'm gonna screenshot because I think everyone will want to see this for their own. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna. So this is perfect. What you've done, perfect. And then the next stage. Am I sharing my screen?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. Now it's okay, you can see?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So this is your next layer.
Oh. Okay.
So this remains bright. This remains bright, and then this should be lighter.
Okay. So that should be a lighter color.
Yeah, and you might have to break out the white now, right? And that's okay because the quins are transparent, and even if you like you know, the first glaze is always the lightest, but as soon as you build it up, unless you can white back, but it's okay to add white, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, this is where from just more of a stylized standpoint, these are your warmth in the white, and then everything else is cool and dark. And so this all your darks are not dark and like they're not too dark. It's just now a matter of this needing to be all darker.
Should I use charcoal?
No, because of doing the demo, which is so helpful to me too as to what I would do. I found, and I'm just going to share with an example here. I found it was better to use the cool color. So here is where I used the charcoal, and then I started to bring in that negative space for the lights, right? In here. So the charcoal can work really, really well, but then I found that actually using the cool color was just as effective for the receding. Mm-hmm. So you can do either a mix. I'll probably continue to bring in charcoal because I like that, but this is certainly the same. Even that is just as that's pushed back and it's not as bright. You can do a combo. So I'll be like adding in dark in here and then upping some of the darks in there.
Okay, I'd like to show mine. Maybe you can tell me where to go from here.
Ooh. Smoky. Those trees almost look like they're turning into smoke the way they're just like wonderful ground, Christine. I feel like I am there. I'm walking into it. So I think for me it's the top that I don't feel they're high enough. So close it in a bit. So I think you need to have the trees so that they don't feel like they're ending at the top, that they keep going.
Okay.
So that might also mean a bit darker in that upper third. Yeah. And underneath that swing of the open area and the canopy, but I almost feel like the treetops, I'm not sure where they are yet.
Okay.
So for me, what I did was I had them go right off so that you can't even see them. So you could actually just bring in foliage and just make it feel like you're engulfed in them, or make them thicker at the top, the trunks, so that they're higher. Any other feedback for Christine?
Love it. I don't have any feedback.
Maybe turn it upside down when you're working so that you're just focused on, the tree tops. I love the base, like the ground and everything.
Cool. That ended up in a better place than I thought.
Aha! Oh, I like that.
We like that.
Always a wonderful, unexpected, like, why can't that happen all the time?
Well,
Really?
when you were going, red, we'll just make the trees red. I'm like, no, I'm fighting.
I'm obsessed with fluorescent red. It's been about 2 years now. I have a problem. And there's no cure. So we will, I'm going to ask Betty and Esther and Carol to share if you'd like, or at least check in with me outside of class, because we're at noon, if you can believe it or not. And then I will say, let's get into this to start with next week, unless we start the class in, like, if you've had time to work on it, that's fine, but not everybody does. So I'll prepare us with a canopy so we can apply like the same, let's just keep with the same idea going, but it'll be more of a canopy and looking up. So it'll be more focused on perspective. If we want to stay in the woods, brushes up if you want to stay in the woods.
I'm staying in the woods.
Yeah. So I'm kind of liking the whole idea of just like staying engulfed, like, to heck with skies. I don't want to talk about sky holes. I want to talk about feeling protected, dark, but in the darkness. But a canopy there'll be sky holes. That was on my list for next week, because as Carol had shared some photos that really opened up. This was outside of class. Sorry, Carol shared some photos with me that really opened up the insight that the forest means a lot of things to all of us. And so I really want to appreciate that. And if you have suggestions for, this is a focus I'd like to do, maybe we'd all be interested in it. So don't hesitate. Canopy was on my list, but I also had forest paths, a path.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
So, Esther, would you like to share?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'll just say I'm working on something that's fairly large.
Okay.
Which is a huge piece of wood that my husband had cut for me. I can hardly lift it.
Oh my goodness.
But I am really enjoying it. I know I'm gonna be obsessed now this afternoon with this. Like, I'm really, and I'll post it on your Facebook.
In the art group. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm happy for any feedback on it. I'm just not ready to show it. It's a bit of a hot mess right at the moment, but
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's how we get ready for the show.
Yeah.
Hot messes.
I am going to have to go, Shar.
Yeah.
But thank you.
And you'll check in with me over text?
Yeah, if it starts to look any better than it does now.
Well, okay, either way, Betty, because I'm not just here to see it when it's in good form, okay?
Okay.
So you gotta be willing to say, actually, I have no idea. I hate it. Help. I
Okay.
always love to hear when you love your work, but if things are not working out, that's actually the best reason to hit me up. So, okay, Betty,
Okay,
we'll
well,
see you next week.
Okay, well, thank you. And I will try to work on it some before I get back to you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Good plan. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye, Betty. I'm gonna Carol, would you like to check in?
Mine is quite a disaster.
Okay.
I'll show you, but I think it's a disaster. So it's not. What is it?
No, Carol, it's not.
Really? I mean, it's just too heavy and dark and cluttered up.
No, oh my goodness. Okay. So this is just good insight that, we're doing something different, and that's great. I love the intense orange and I feel that glow. So it's to me, it's just maybe needing a couple more negative spaces of that orange trickling off like mystical in the top so that it doesn't feel like it's just in that little area. Um, I think this is bold and wonderful.
Okay, well, I won't touch it for a day or two.
And can you send me a picture?
On that note, I'm so pleased to get through the class because this 2-week hold, I finally went to emergency and I have pneumonia.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really tired.
Oh my gosh. That's good that you went. I'm glad to hear that you went. Because now you know how to, well, sometimes I guess with pneumonia, there's not much you can do. But I'm glad that you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive because you've been hitting all the marks with exhaustion. Yeah.
Good for you.
So kudos, continue to take care of yourself. So next week we'll continue on with this. I think there's a lot of where we need to be open to doing different things and continue that. Okay. So if it's feeling something that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So we're tapping into something a little bit different with this whole concept. And we're showing each other where we can go. And it's very exciting. I am again thrilled with the results so far. And we don't have to obsess over this. Okay, so I'm going to actually I'm going to look through my references, and either it'll be a canopy or a forest path. I'll surprise the bits out of you by tomorrow. Right now, I have to go build a covering for a chicken coop because it's snowing tomorrow. So I'll be doing the recording tonight and making those decisions, and then I'll send that out to you by latest tomorrow after the open studio. Just know that you'll get that follow up. And if you have anything any ideas or inspiration or anything you think could really spark and make this class as magical as we are, send it my way. Okay, I love you.
Thank you,
Love
Char.
you.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.